Hi, okay, this is another MS processing tutorial. This time we get past all the geeky stuff of what MS is, and now we're starting to look at, okay, so we know what it is now, enough already, what the hell can we do with it? So I'm going to go through a few of the things that I often use MS processing for. I'm going to start with the drum file that I've been playing a bit. Okay, now I can use an MS encoder. This is a free one by Voxengo, I think. Let me just double check where that's from. Yeah, Voxengo. I don't actually know how to say that. Anyway, so MSED. And what this does is it's kind of a little mixer basically. You can mute the mid or the side. So I want this to be my mid channel, so I've put it on and I have muted the side. So now if I ungroup these, this is just the mid information, and you can see it's got a really nice metering, whatever, so you can see what's going on. Cool, let's go to the other one. Now I'll turn off the processing. And here is the side, so this is the stuff that's the difference from the mid information. Great, okay, now in combination, it should sound the same as this one. Let's see. Cool, okay. So what I want to do, here is to look at a few, there's a bunch of different things that I can do. For one, the original stereo file there was some phasing problems in it anyway, and the kind of stereo components of it feel a little bit to the left. So what I have kind of done here is I've side panned slightly so that this is a little bit off center, that it feels that it's balanced my kind of left and right a bit better than before. So that's one thing you can do with it. Oh, this is very annoying. The next thing though is that I might want to add some processing now to the side components. So I've cut the lows and boosted the highs. And then after that, I have compressed just the side components. And that's just made my drums feel a little bit more alive than a little bit tight and a bit closed. And now I should turn the groups on. And now if I play this one, oh god. Hang on a second, I'm just going to okay, we can definitely hear the difference in those. The original seems a bit tighter, and these are a bit more open, got a bit more of the room, but still have the presence of the mid components. So that's one way that you can work with mid-side components. Now I'm going to talk about, I'm going to go through a few different ways to work on the same file for the next example. Here is the original, hopefully. Where is it? Start here. Let's do it there somewhere. Okay, so this is fine. I mean, the file is fine, but what I wanted to, the problem that I have with it is that there's a lot, the track has got a lot going on, and it just was kind of getting in the way of things. So what I want to do is to kind of carve out a bit of space in the mid and let this live a little bit more in the sides. So let's have a look at what I did. The first thing I'm going to go through is using the Waves S1 matrix, which is doing that encoding, changing it from left and right, and then sending the mid information out the left and the side information out the right side of the channel. So let's just have a look at that. Okay, mid on the left, side on the right. And then what I did was use the S1 shuffler that also comes with it, and I spread the side information. Let's compare that to the original. So you can, this one you can hear that it's much, if you can feel it, it's much more in the center. Oh gosh, very annoying. And the side, or the processed one. Okay, so that's one way I can do it. Now, I also, these kind of get the similar result. Let's have a listen to the different ways that I processed it. Now here is another encoder. This is just another one I'm using. I have to change the mode to MS and it will send, again, mid out the left, side out the right. And this time I use the Fairchild 670 compressor limiter, which is, this is a UAD plugin. You have waves options and there's other emulations of these around. Now, the brilliance of these, and particularly when we're working with mid-side, is that the Fairlight, I mean the analog versions, they have two independent amplifiers for two independent limiters. So obviously that's great for working with left and right components of a stereo track or the mid and the side. Here they've called it lateral and vertical. And let's have a look. This is a really good graphic when we can look at, hang on, let's have a, going back to the drums before that we were looking at, get them to play. Okay, so the sides, lateral, the mid, vertical. Okay, so that's a cool kind of visual to make sense of all these different terminologies for basically the same thing. So let's have a listen to what I did on this one. I have to select it again. Here's my original. Cool, I like that. So how did I do that? How did I set this up? Basically what I did was I have compressed the lateral or the mid information. So I have increased the threshold until it's compressing, as you can see. And then I've turned up the input of the side channel. Not so much it's compressing, but I've just turned it up. And that's it, basically. So there's two options of working with the same thing. And the final one I want to show you was the FabFilters Pro C2. Now here we've got, we have the left and right information coming out through the wet pan and the dry pan. So this is the side. You can see here when we attenuate the output, it gives us wet pan, mid and side. So if this is completely up to the right, the mid is completely gone and the side is turned up. And as this goes to the left, the side is turned down and the mid is completely turned up. So here, so this is bringing up the processing of the side, basically, or reducing the processing of the mid, let's say. The kind of difference with these is that we don't, now if you think about what's so great about the Fairchild is that there's two different limiters working. The way that it's working with something like FabFilter is that it's separating the signals and you can change the processing, you can change the, you can change the levels of the mid and the side, but then with that changed level, it gets summed together and then that is being processed. So it's not quite, I don't like it quite as much, but I mean, I guess everything's good for different reasons. So if I turn down the mid here, turning down, now there's more mid, it's being compressed, and then I adjust my threshold to, you know, so that it works on that, that MS summed signal basically. So let's have a listen to each of these and see what the difference is. This one's probably gained up a little bit too much actually. Let me just bring that down a touch. That's okay. Oh, so annoying. Fairchild, S1 shuffler, so it's just kind of a spread with no compression. The original, again, S1 shuffler. The Fairchild, compressing the vertical, the mid, and boosting the side. and the Pro C2 from FabFilter, which is changing the relationship or the levels of the mid and the side, and then compressing that new MS summed signal. Which do you like the best? I know which one I like best. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's up to you, but these are 4 different ways that you can work with it. The final thing that I wanted to talk about was backing vocals. This is another place that MS is used quite often. Let's have a listen to... Release me. Okay, wet vocal. And I might use the Fairchild again. So let's bring in my MS encoder, M on the left, S on the right, and bring in my Fairchild. And now I'm going to reset it. So this is kind of how I set, if I'm going to be working with something like the Fairchild, this is how I'd set it up. So I want the link to be off because I want to work with these separately. And in this case, what might I do? I think I want to, similar with that synth, I think I want to control the mids a little bit and let it kind of fly out the left. Let's try that. Bring up the... Cool. Hang on a second. That's a bit more like it. You want to bring up those outsides. Okay, that feels a bit better to me. Let's have a listen to what it was before. Release me. And now with the processing. It's just moved, basically it's moved that lower vocal to the side, so it's not kind of in the middle. Again. Release me. Release me. Yeah, okay, that's the basic process. That's how I use it. There's obviously lots of different ways, but hopefully this has given you some ideas for what you might want to use it for. Okay, thanks, bye.